Oh my God! Word on the curb is Solange has been trying to pull Beyoncé out of her marriage and away from whatever shady dealings she and Jay may have with Diddy. But Queen Bey isn't trying to hear it. Insiders say Solange got so tired of beating her head against a wall, she finally dipped on Beyoncé, and now that the Carters' lawyers are working overtime to shut down anyone connecting them to Diddy's drama, it's looking like Solange may have been onto something all along. I mean, think about it. Bey and Jay never said a peep about the Diddy situation until Jaguar Wright made those wild accusations on Piers Morgan's show? So was Jag speaking some hard truths? Let's get into it.
Victims potentially, do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. And everyone knows it. The wiretapping of the phones, putting air tag on children during visits. These are normal practices that these people do.
First off, we all know Solange is ride or die when it comes to protecting Beyoncé. Remember when she went off on Jay in that elevator back in 2014? Sis was ready to risk it all for Bey. There were even rumors about Solange nearly calling the cops on their dad because she thought he might hurt Beyoncé. That's how deep Solange's loyalty runs. But lately, Bey and Solange's relationship has been looking real frosty, and folks think it has everything to do with the Diddy drama. See, about a year before Cassie filed her bombshell lawsuit, the feds were already quietly investigating Diddy, so Bey and Jay definitely knew the storm was coming. Coincidentally, that's around the same time Beyoncé and Solange suddenly stopped talking. Interesting, right? Word is, Solange was well aware of all the shady connections, and she desperately tried to convince Beyoncé to leave Jay Z because he was the link to Diddy. Supposedly, Solange knew it was only a matter of time before Beyoncé got roped into something scandalous. And well, here we are. Now, let's recap some of the wild theories floating around about how Bey and Jay are allegedly mixed up in this mess. Because of their industry power and well-documented friendship with Diddy over the years, some conspiracy theorists believe Bey and Jay have other artists taken out when they become a threat. They point to clues in lyrics, like J. Cole's 2013 track She Knows, which references Aaliyah and Left Eye. Both singers died in freak accidents while blowing up around the same time as Beyoncé. Fans have also noticed a weird pattern of artists name-dropping Bey in their acceptance speeches, like when Adele broke her Grammy to share with Beyoncé in 2017.
To accept this award, and I'm very humbled and I'm very grateful and gracious, but my artist of my life is Beyoncé, and this album for me, the Lemonade album, was just so monumental. Beyoncé, it was so monumental and so well thought out and so beautiful and soul-bearing, and we all got to see another side to you that you don't always let us see, and we appreciate that. And all us artists here, we f***ing adore you. You are our light. And the way that you make me and my friends feel, the way you make my black friends feel is empowering, and you make them stand up for themselves. And I love you. I always have, and I always will.
Then there was the infamous moment when Kanye crashed Taylor Swift's 2009 VMA speech to hype up Beyoncé's video. According to the gossip mills, all these public displays of Beyoncé worship are really celebs showing their allegiance to the queen so they don't end up mysteriously dead. But you know who's not about to bow down to the Carters? Jason Lee. On a recent episode of his podcast, Jason went off about how Jay-Z's people have been blowing up his phone, trying to get him to cool it with the Beyoncé and Diddy talk. Jason was big mad, saying he's been snubbed from the Rock Nation brunch, but now he's getting calls about their drama. He even warned Jay to stop sending minions and pick up the phone himself. Jason said, "Jay-Z, I know you're watching because you got people calling me. Stop having people call me. You can call me yourself. You know how to get my number. You got people calling me? Call me yourself. Because this right here is going to go viral. I will tell you to the audience, if I do come up missing, all the calls I've been getting have been about him." Chilly. I bet it was the Carters' lawyer blowing up Jason's line, just like he did Piers Morgan. Remember, Piers had to apologize for letting Jaguar make all those wild claims about Bey and Jay on his show.
Potentially, do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. And everyone knows it. The wiretapping of the phones, putting air tag on children during visits. These are normal practices that these people do.
The Carter's attorney, Alex Spiro, came out swinging against Jag's accusations, calling them straight-up nonsense. He gave Piers an ultimatum: take down the interview and remove the demonstrably false allegations, or else. Alex said Piers gave a platform to random rumor mill gossip that not only causes harm, but also drowns out the voices of real victims. While his clients have stayed silent on the Diddy case, Alex hinted that their legal action against Piers spoke volumes, saying, when they put their foot down on something, as they did here, they are sending a message. And if they can't stand up and say right from wrong, then who can? Well, Piers folded and issued a groveling apology. He said Jag caught him off guard with the serious claims about Bey and Jay, who weren't there to defend themselves. But once their lawyers stepped in and demanded Jag's comments be removed, Piers said he had no choice but to comply with the legal request and edit the interview. Piers tried to justify giving Jag a platform in the first place, saying folks like her will find an audience for their claims with or without mainstream media. But he admitted there are legal lines even his uncensored show can't cross. As for whether Bey or Jay will directly address the Diddy drama, don't hold your breath. A source close to the couple said they've been conspicuously silent since the indictment news broke. Apparently they're terrified of implicating themselves, so they're just going to keep their mouths shut and let their attack dog lawyers do the dirty work. But here's the gag. Jag isn't the only one who's tried to link the Carters to Diddy's downfall. There were even rumors Jay and Bey were name-dropped in Cassie's original 60-page lawsuit. Allegedly, Cassie claimed Bey and Jay witnessed Diddy get physical with her at one of his parties, and Beyonce even warned Cassie about Diddy's true colors. An insider spilled, I want to put you on notice about some more info that is coming out from the original 60-page lawsuit that Cassie and her lawyers initially filed against Diddy. So it's been said that Jay Z and Beyonce were implicated in the lawsuit for witnessing Diddy strike her and push her down at one of Diddy's parties. The location, time, and date of this occurrence was not given due to other privacy issues and other concerns regarding this matter. Of course, their lawyer worked overtime to scrub any mention of the Carters from the final version of the suit. But if Solange is to be believed, she knew all about their shady ties. Word is she tried everything to get Beyonce away from Jay and his messy connections, but Bey wouldn't budge. Some even think that's the real reason Solange and Beyonce grew apart. Solange just got sick of trying to talk sense into her stubborn sister. Remember when fans noticed Solange was MIA from Beyonce's Renaissance rollout last year? An insider said at the time, we all thought it was odd that Solange wasn't part of Beyonce's new album. It's the kind of sound that's right up Solange's alley. Not only did Solange skip out on the project, she also didn't post a single tweet or Instagram shout-out hyping up Renaissance. Another source added, I think it's weird for her not to be out supporting Beyonce. Bey took a chance on her latest album, Renaissance, and she actually needed everyone to support it to propel it to being the hit. While the insiders didn't have concrete proof of beef between the sisters, they definitely sensed something was off, saying, I've heard things about their relationship. I think something is definitely going on between them. And get this, Solange was radio silent when Beyonce made history at this year's Grammys, becoming the most awarded artist of all time. Solange didn't post a single congrats.
I want to thank God for protecting me. Thank you, God. I'd like to thank my Uncle Johnny, who's not here, but he's here in spirit. I'd like to thank my parents, my father, my mother, for loving me and pushing me. I'd like to thank my beautiful husband, my beautiful 3 children who are at home watching. I'd like to thank the queer community for your love and for inventing this genre. God bless you.
Thank you so much to the Grammys.
Even more telling, Bey gave a whole acceptance speech thanking everyone under the sun, but never once mentioned her sister. The shade of it all. There were even wild rumors that Solange and Beyonce got into it so bad, Solange physically went off on Bey, leaving her with injuries that needed medical attention and weeks of bed rest. But according to insiders, Solange is done going to bat for Beyonce, which explains her silence in the Diddy scandal. Apparently, she's been telling Bey to watch her back for years, but it fell on deaf ears. So now the question is, are the gossip folks just reaching with these Beyonce theories, or could there actually be some fire to go with all this smoke? I want to know what y'all think. Do you see shady connections between the Carters and Diddy's downfall? Is Solange the unsung hero who tried to save her sister from a sinking ship? Let's talk it out in the comments. Just keep it cute because the Beyhive doesn't play about their queen. But all jokes aside, if there's even a shred of truth to these wild allegations, Beyonce and Jay Z could have a serious storm coming their way. And this time, a few sternly worded legal threats might not be enough to shut it down. Anyway, that's all I got for now. But trust and believe I'll be keeping my ear to these streets for any new details. Make sure you're subscribed and got those notifications on deck so you don't miss an update. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You are watching Hot Gossip. Goodbye.